Hello, and welcome to the Matt Black podcast. Happy New Year. It's 2025. We're up to episode 16, and now for something a little bit different. So we've got two guests who work in the beauty and cosmetics industry. So please welcome Chelsea Naylor and Katie Louise Mitchell. Hello.
Hello.
Are we all right?
Yeah,
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Really good.
Okay. So I know that you both do multiple things. There's moving parts in everything that you do, and it changes all the time. So it would be much easier if you could probably tell me a little bit about what you both do, the businesses that you work with, and the services and things like that those businesses offer.
Yeah.
Yes, so basically we're both nurses. I'm from an adult nurse background, Chelsea's mental health nurse. We both do aesthetics and we both teach aesthetics now. I'm first aid and various other things. We've both got our own clinics, and now we've combined and come together, and we've opened a training school together as well. So I have Redefine HQ, which is a factory that I'm just renovating at the minute. It was a meat factory, which will soon be a salon.
Completely different.
And honestly, there was literally no wires, no heating, nothing in that building. But so it's still the factory. We're referring to it the factory at the minute, but we are working from there. And then Chelsea's got her own salon as well. And then we work together and we move around places at the minute until the factory's done. And then we'll be
on paper, we've always said we should be rivals really, because we are in the same industry and we work from very close together. We're not far.
The same clients, literally. Sometimes we'll see my client on her page and
and we know, and we've got no hard feelings about it at all, have we? And so on paper we should be rivals, but it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Some things just
So
naturally fell
be
together.
friends instead of having a fight then.
And you know, in the aesthetics industry, people, there's a lot of rivals, and I think people have got nowhere to turn. So Chelsea's been doing aesthetics a lot longer than me, and a nursing. I do medical tattooing as well, so I do a lot of areola tattooing after breast cancer and things like that. And I started off doing cosmetic tattooing, went into medical, and I knew I wanted to go further in the aesthetic side. So I went into that, and then I knew I needed to do my nursing to go further to get to where I wanted to go, really. And then I wanted to go into teaching, and we'd seen each other, we're commenting on each other's posts and always kind of be there for each other. But it weren't until... did I see you?
We went on a course.
We went on a course. In fact, we went on a course. Yeah, in Manchester first, and we spoke, and I said... Chelsea had been doing some teaching, and I said, I want to get into that, but I want to do this first, then I want to brand my filler and blah, blah, blah. And then I remember you just sending me a message basically saying, I found this course, and other people with business wouldn't really do that. Obviously you'd think, oh God, I don't want Katie to start doing that in my area, and she didn't, and I was just anyway, we ended up on this teaching course together, didn't we?
I'd already got a teaching qualification, but...
Chelsea being Chelsea, forgot where the
I couldn't remember
were.
where I'd done the teaching qualification. So I knew I'd done it through my nursing, and I couldn't remember which university it were. So I needed...
Honestly, this is what I have to deal with.
So I contacted all the universities in the area to try and get the certificate, because I couldn't find the certificate.
She didn't even know which
So
university.
in the meantime, I thought, I'm just going to do another course. I'll do it again. So I booked another course, and that's when I contacted you, weren't it? And then I found the certificate. Yeah. And it was Sheffield Hallam I did the course at.
Which one where I trained also. We literally did our teaching, and there's a lot going into teaching. Obviously you have to write your manuals and do all your assessing and things like that. And I can remember I was just laid there one night, and I just had this idea. When I did my training, I felt like, even though I'm not slating the training school, it were really good. I had lots of models and things, but I just felt like there weren't enough. So when you're learning to do anti-wrinkle injections, Botox as people call it, the results don't come for 2 weeks, right? So I've been taught, I've passed the end of the week. How do I know what I've done to that person's face? So I've just left with all them certificates, right? Whether you've been medic or non-medic, it didn't really matter at that point. And I don't know what that face looks like. So I've now gone home and I'm performing this on people, right? And I'm having to wait for them to come back 2 weeks later. And any training school that you've been to, or anybody that we know, was the same kind of thing. And I was just like, do you know what? We really need somewhere, whereas we put all this training on and they come back 2 weeks later and they see the results. And then we show them how to review, which is like what we would do in normal practice. And then 2 weeks later, they come back again and they see their results on lots of different anatomies. Everybody's face is different. Everybody's unit's different. And what we do is we make sure that everybody on their first time injects the same amount of units. So when they all come back, somebody who didn't have many wrinkles might still have a lot, and somebody who had lots of wrinkles might have none with still the same units. It really like varies so much.
You kind of had an
so I
epiphany,
just
didn't you?
literally, I just messaged her and I said like, you can say no if you want to, and we're still going to do us both as businesses. Like Chelsea's very successful in hers and I'm really successful in mine, and I love that. But on a training side, do you want to combine? And she were like, yeah. I wouldn't do it with anyone else, and that were it. The next day,
that were it.
It was just absolutely bizarre, and we love it. And as you can see, Chelsea like losing her certificates. She's very good at the social media side,
but I'm lackadaisical so much. And I like live in chaos. Like everything I do is chaotic, and
whereas mine is, but she makes me feel.
But you are organised in ways that I'm not.
Like everything we've ever earned, ever bought is on a spreadsheet. I could tell you what I have earned, cash card to the penny, literally. We have
whereas
Chelsea's
I would probably lose money. Like tomorrow I'd be falling out of my pocket.
Like, how much money have we earned today? And I'm like, well, I'll tell you.
He says phone Katie up and get on that spreadsheet
and see how much we've earned.
It?
Can we afford to go out for tea today? So it really works, and we still do his own things. But yeah, and bizarrely, we literally, when did we start?
September is
first cohort, and we've practically booked up till June. Like it has gone.
We've
unreal.
just got one space.
We've got one space for April's cohort. It's been really good. So at the minute we can only fit 4 people on a cohort just because we want it to be comfortable where it is. But when I've got this training school, which is going to be absolutely unreal, we can have up to like 8 people. We still don't want too many because we want
the best for us students. We don't want
it
to be overwhelmed. We want to be able to give them.
And we have a lot. We're quite fortunate. I think when you did some of your training before, Chelsea only had like one model, didn't you? In some training, which a lot of people get. I'm not over exaggerating when I say
every day 15
models in a day, 40 models on a cohort. So she's seen a lot of face and done a lot of things to feel prepared. So that's what we do.
Yeah, we jump around a little bit and say, well, couldn't imagine doing it with anybody else.
It's good.
Yeah. So it's only the training that you work together on at the minute, then the salons.
And it'll always be that. We've completely got his own salons.
She's got different goals.
So I've got my salon. I've got several girls that work for me as well. So and there's a couple of girls that are self-employed in there as well. So they do their own thing and just pay me rent. And then you've obviously got your own business completely separate.
So my business is Redefine HQ. So I'm Katie LM. I work within Redefine HQ, and I've now got 2 girls work for me in there. There's another nurse, she's Kay, and I have Nicole who does beauty and all my admin, my PA. That girl runs around after me.
It's like Donna for me.
Yeah, literally, if it comes to taking clothes back, all my books, anything, like I need to go to the shop, she's another me.
That's what Dan's like for me. I've
not got a husband to do that for me, so Chelsea's husband.
So I literally phone him every 2 minutes saying, right, you need to go here and pick this stock up, or you need to do this.
Does it for me too. Dan's taxes.
Yeah, we do. We're
gonna both as businesses, we're quite happy with that. And from a trip, Chelsea was doing training on her own, and I were going to be doing training on my own. But it works. And you know what? We both teach a little bit different. We both have different techniques. We've picked up so much off each other. Like, there's things that you love that I didn't like as much, and now I love, and things that you, and the other way around, isn't they? And like,
yeah, I think that's the best thing about, like, for the students, they're getting two perspectives of different things. So how they, like, say for Botox, for example, there's loads of different patterns how you can do Botox. So we can demonstrate just from like his own experience. So they're getting like twice as much knowledge.
Also, what's good is with Chelsea having a mental health background, we've included in our packages body dysmorphia, which there is a lot of in the aesthetics industry. Yeah, so and I'm obviously an adult nurse, and I then deal with a lot of like cancer patients, and I do scars. So I do scar needling, which is medical tattooing, and I also do scar camouflage. So I have a lot of clients like from self-harm or cancer or just operations and things. So we've put that into our course, the body dysmorphia, and we do real life scenarios.
We do a bit of role play.
And we do a bit of role play, honestly.
The students always love that, don't they?
It is, but it's just like, because I never, for instance, you might have somebody comes in the salon and they've got a lot of filler in their face. For one, I don't want to take somebody's money like that and make somebody look stupid. I want people to walk past and recognise that I've done that and it looks good. For two, some of these girls, if you're not going to inject them, they'll just move around and keep on going till somebody will put it in. And you've seen people like
it's also learning the students how to say no as well.
How to say no. Like, I've turned a lot of people
It's like the dignity of your client, and that obviously you want them to look the best, and it's the face. And
there's a lot.
And we don't want students who are going to do this for the money. That we want them to do it for the right reasons.
You've got to have a passion for it, and you've got to care.
You want to care.
And with us both having a nursing background and stuff, I think you've got to have that side, and we really both love what we do. I mean, there's been plenty of people that come in, and in the nicest possible way, I've had to say, I'm not going to put that in, but what I do suggest is that you have that dissolved, and I can promise you might hear me for 2 weeks, because you've got to have 2 weeks without nothing in. But I can guarantee you that there's not one person that's going to tell you once I've refilled them that they look worse. Yeah. And then when they come back and they've had these many people like literally saying to them, wow, God, it looks so good, like, and they can see the difference, that makes them feel better, so they then start trusting you more, and you can then like go a little bit down the avenues into gaining this trust and stopping people getting overfilled and walking around with the standard duck lip. Like, literally, I think my oldest client she's probably 86 now. She comes for filler because she can't put lipstick on anymore. Nobody would ever know that lady's had filler. And like, the best filler, you shouldn't really be able to tell. Obviously, people's got structural changes like me. I had no jaw before filler. All this is fake.
People are always shocked when we say it's
there's at least 20 mil in that jar. Like, honestly. But yeah, so yeah, it's good.
So, obviously, like you said, you both come from a nursing background. Yeah. Were going into the beauty industry the original goal, or did that just come along later?
I started with cosmetic tattooing. I did my nursing 5 years after. So I actually worked on nuclear power stations before that. I literally travelled England with many men.
Factories.
And
it's getting commercial.
I had a newborn baby. William, I was with his dad at the time, but I wanted to earn the money to start my business. So I paid a nanny to come with me. So when he were only so many weeks old, we used to get on the train to London with my baby and then feed him. She'd look after him through the day, and then we'd get the train back to my baby dad on a weekend. I went from one extreme to another until I had enough money to start my business. And then I knew I couldn't really go further without doing my nursing, and especially even when it were cosmetic and medical tattooing, people trust you more as nurses.
Yeah,
they do. Like, if you've got somebody especially that's been going through chemo and scar treatments, people automatically are drawn more towards you. because you're a nurse, they think, well, you do, but you understand them more, you kind of know what they've been going through. So you've got an element of trust, haven't you?
Straight away.
Whereas yours totally different, isn't
So I basically, obviously, did my nursing first. I was always really artistic, like I really like to draw. And
yeah, you're a really good drawer, aren't you?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I drew this picture and the school entered it into a competition and I ended up winning this holiday, basically, to Centre Parks and spending money.
I won an holiday as well, but mine was dancing beat centre attention.
So yeah, it was really good. And then I got to like high school and I did another drawing of her self-portrait and they entered that into a London art gallery.
I've seen the robin that you've done. She's drawn this robin. It's unreal. And I was like,
yeah, so I was always really good at art and I wanted to do art. And my dad, he'd been to art school years ago and my dad was like, oh, I really think you should go and try and get a career. And my dad were a nurse, so I thought, oh, his job sounds all right. I think I'll fancy that. I do like the sound of it. So I went into nursing and I absolutely loved it. Like, even now I really miss nursing.
Yeah,
I've literally sat there this afternoon and thought, maybe I should retrain and do like my general nursing, but for no reason whatsoever, just because I really miss that.
Yeah, but it's that side. It's like you feel like when you go home from, I mean, the 12-hour shifts are not fun and the pay is not fun. But
There's
going home and you've changed somebody's life every day, literally. I mean, we do that in the salon as well, but it's different.
Yeah, there is.
It is different.
So I just started doing aesthetics as I thought it was going to be an extra bit of pocket money. So I'd split up with my ex at the time and I'd moved back in with my parents, and the money that I saved to basically, that I was paying rent with him, I saved up and paid for my training. And I had a mentor when I was a student nurse and I always looked up to her, and she knows, I tell her all the time.
She's actually what comes to be our model now.
She's one of us models now, and I always tell her that she was my inspiration. And I went to her house one day and her house was beautiful and I thought, this is gorgeous. And she said to me, you don't get this from nursing. And then there was just something in my mind that was like, oh. And she said, I do Botox and fillers. And from that moment, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. And then it just incorporates that artistic side of me that I've always had and wanted to do. But then it's also got the nursing side in. So it just ended up being a little bit of extra pocket money, and then it become 1 or 2 a week to 1 or 2 a day to now 20 a day. So it just kind of happened on its own, really. It was never meant to be a full-time business.
I weren't ever going to do, obviously from the power station, I was trying, I knew I needed to earn, working on the power station, you were earning quite a good wage, especially at quite a young age. And I was thinking, what am I going to do now? I've got this baby. And I need to earn enough money to have a lifestyle. I like nice holidays, like nice things. But I'm going to have to take this child to school and pick it up from school because I want to be a really involved mum. And I can remember seeing somebody, and they'll still not know this to this day, but I can remember, I'm not going to name drop, but they're being for some tattooing done. And the dad, I'm not going to say all the areas because they'll know what it is. But literally I said, oh, where have you just been? And they said, oh, I've just been for my eyebrows tattooed and all this. And I went, oh, God, they look really good. How much did you pay? And she told me. And I knew how long she'd been there. And I went, God, I might get into that. And she went,
that's more than
not anybody can just get into it. And I went, I was like, next minute, I was booked on the course with the lady who had done her tattooing. And little does she know, so now she's actually one of my clients. And but yeah, so it came from there. Yeah, but she'll never know that story to this day. But I think that little comment literally made me who I am today.
So what were the training like for that then? Is it quite intense or?
For the tattooing side, yeah. So it's really bizarre because to do tattoo, I've done quite a lot of different training. Some, honestly, the first time I trained, and I can remember I paid my first course. I can remember I paid £3,500. Obviously, I thought that was a lot of money for training, and I just couldn't do what I wanted to do. I knew that, like, I'd done everything that they were telling me, and I just knew that it weren't enough. It weren't like the work I was looking at that I wanted to be like. So then I went back and retrained somewhere, and I paid like £9,000. So obviously, which will be a lot more because I've been doing it. Well, it'll probably be 12 years ago since I trained. And you had to do so much training, and then you had to come back with proof of all your work, and it took months and months. Where my first training, I was literally there a couple of days. I came home and I were off, and I even did my first bit of medical tattooing like that. And then I've carried on, and I've just kept on going on courses and courses. I've retrained again with a lovely girl who I met, Arch & Co. She's called in Manchester, Sophie. She's absolutely amazing. I did some more lip blush training with her and medical tattooing. Funnily enough, I met her in Dubai on a night out. I'd seen her all week when we've been there. We've been drinking together. And then I was like, what do you do the night before she went home? She's like, medical tattooing. I was like, no way, that's what I do. Little did I know, this is the woman I'd been following on Instagram, her salon, for years, and wanted to train with. Yeah. And I was like, shut the front door. So next thing I booked on with her, and I keep on training, and like the difference in some, you really do pay for what you get. But it's the same in aesthetics. God, you can go on day courses, and people are allowed to just do people's fillers after day courses.
I was going to ask you about this, because obviously, like, it's reassuring to people you've both got nursing backgrounds, and obviously you've been on some hefty training, which some of it isn't cheap.
Yeah.
Like you said, are they like kind of cheap, kind of just quick courses people can get on, and then just basically just get out there doing stuff?
In this country at the minute, there's no current regulation of the industry.
At all.
So
you can literally be a gardener.
I could train you right now. And you would be legally...
we could sign you a certificate after a day.
I don't know, Libby's been trying to train me for about 7 years.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Well, we could have a go at training. We could try.
We're very good teachers.
I'll pick up after myself sometimes.
Yeah. So, theoretically, we could train you right now, and we could train you with one model, and we could show you...
And we could actually pass you off, and you would be able to...
And you would be able to then go and knock on next doors.
I think I've got a bit of space in studio if I get rid of a couple of things.
Bed set up. Yeah. But there is a lot of call in the industry now for more regulation, which we are... Yeah,
which
we
there
want,
should be.
Yeah.
And it's not that not being medic and non-medic, I started my aesthetics being non-medic going into medic,
and I know some amazing non-medics,
and I know like I said,
some amazing
some people that we know who know more about the anatomy of the face than some dentists, literally the things that they know. But what it is when it comes with your nursing, it's knowing everything else that comes with it. Like, we have a governing body, so if we do something wrong, we're losing our nursing pin. So I'm not going to mess my day up by injecting a load of shite, basically, or just do stupid things because I've got a duty of care. And you learn all that with your nursing, and you learn all about sterile and being clean and just everything. Whereas people from not just from, I don't mean people who are non-medic, some people that have done the day courses are not bothered about that side. So I think when nurses and stuff, some people get the backup about, because we do train non-medics, but we have, it's a different course.
Yeah, we take them down a different pathway. And from beginners, we cover and we take them over 12 months. So we do that so that they're insurable. We start them off on more skincare side of things, and then we'll introduce different things.
Because if they are still going to train somewhere else, so we would prefer to do it in a safe way, knowing, and so that they feel ready as well.
And we always cover first aid, so we will teach every student that ever comes on us CPR. We'll teach them what to deal with, how to deal with somebody who's maybe fainting, allergic reactions, so EpiPens. We've also got
complications.
Yeah, a defibrillator, so we'll train people how to use defibs. We've also got choking devices, so if anybody's choking,
which is absolutely hilarious. You should watch one of our choking sessions. We've got a big vest on that you have to get this fake. Fake food.
I've been on a few of them myself before.
It's hilarious.
And interesting because we literally did a first aid course on his last cohort, and unfortunately we had a client who'd come with a friend, and the friend actually passed out during the session.
Course.
So it weren't the person who were having the treatment, it was the accompanying person.
Which happens most. People watching.
And because
is that because of like needles or
I
fear of
think
blood?
Needles, but we had literally just trained all of our students how to deal with that, and they dealt with that amazing.
Honestly, I was still in the room. Chelsea had walked out the room. I just
thought the beds had collapsed.
She literally went down. Head, there was a mirror, everything were on the floor, and our students safely, literally, gloves off, needles down, had this girl, her legs were up in the air, just everything, and I was just like, wow.
But there's a lot of people wouldn't know how to deal with that.
And done refreshers with us. They've never done any first aid training. I'll tell you what is scary, that a lot of people that have come onto training are not complication trained. I do not know, and I don't care if you're medic, non-medic, if you've done a day course, if you've done a 12-month course, there should be not one person injecting filler that is not complication trained. Obviously, when you inject, there's the chance that you can cause vascular occlusion, which is a VO, which is filler going into a vein, which is causing blockage of a vein. So over a certain amount of time, obviously, the blood had stopped flowing, become necrotic, obviously the flesh can die. People are signed off to do filler, and they are not signed off to dissolve. So you should not, like, we that's part and parcel of our course.
It's one of the first things we do.
Yeah, you have to do it, because how, like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand how any training school can not teach somebody to dissolve when that's part and parcel of it.
We sat down, didn't we, and wrote like a list of priorities of what we wanted to cover, and that were up there at the top. It had to be. Yeah. There'd just be no way that we would
and
even.
Do you know what?
Think
we
about
have a lot of nurses, because we have quite a lot of nurses on our courses now, and they've not been dissolve trained.
So your course is really, you've kind of spotted all the flaws in other courses,
and put it together,
and you've improved.
And we're both very.
We've left no stone unturned, have we?
And then today we've been getting ready, and she said, I've just had an idea. It's dangerous when one of us phones up and says we've had an idea. Usually costs us money, or we're up for 3 days planning something else. But I've just had an idea now. Like, I thought about that, and literally we bounce off each other. We both, with us personalities, I think that's what makes us quite successful.
Our best business calls are at 10 p.m.
10 at night. We're literally, when everybody else goes to sleep, we sit for 90 minutes on a FaceTime. Chelsea's husband must hate me secretly.
Yeah, we was on phone for 2 hours on FaceTime the other night, and he was in bed at the side of us.
We're working. We are working.
You didn't even go to another room.
No. I was laid in bed with Dan, and
we're actually going on a cruise together next year. Me, Chelsea, and Dan, and both of our kids. Which was another great idea.
I'm like, how do you feel that? What we're calling you? No,
he's second wife.
Yeah, second wife. Or we were saying he what third wheel.
Yeah, he's the third wheel in our relationship.
I'm feeling like he's going to be left with kids, and you guys wandering off with cocktails.
He's going to take
because my son's nearly 12 years old, and he's very he's just like one of the boys, isn't he, William?
The love steak.
The love steak, the love lobster, and he loves cocktails. Dan will be absolutely sound.
Yeah, Dan keeps saying, I'm going to take the boys for steak, and you girls can do whatever you want to do.
But we go New York for a few days, then we go Florida for a week, then we're going on a cruise around the Bahamas. So we're away for 3 weeks. So I'm sure we can fit a few girls' days in that time.
It's got to happen.
So, sounds a good holiday, doesn't it?
So, what's like a typical working day then? Like, what's the routine in the salons?
Right, so in the salons or when we're training, because usually I'll ring Katie, she's in the bath, and she's
4 times a day.
She has 4 baths a day. Every time I see her, she's
If I go home for a class, which bearing in mind, I'm working from like 8:30 yesterday morning. I didn't finish till 11:30 at night, but I still managed to have 3 baths in my day. If I go home, I just put a little bit of
your reason why I can't hose my lawn in summer.
I only have mini baths unless on the night time I have my big bath. So
and I come with the car piled full of Anything and everything. My car is, again, chaos. And Katie's normally calling at Tesco 5 minutes before we go to start for breakfast.
Yeah,
and
we're
she has
very,
the weirdest
very both
breakfast.
chaotic. And I don't know how it works, but it does. Like, do you know, me and Chelsea together is somebody's worst nightmare. Like, literally, we are both usually always late. Any of the girls, like, they'll tell me the wrong time we're going places. My friend Lucy, she once told me...
I had an appointment today at 12 o'clock and I'd told you 11:30, but you told him 12.
I told him 12
so
because I know. My friend Lucy once phoned me and she said, oh, what have you done? 'Cause literally, I'm flat out all day, every day. Like, and she went, what have you done today then? It makes me feel tired telling me. So I told her my day and she went, gosh, you'll sleep tonight. I went, that's only till 11 o'clock. It were only 11 a.m. that I'd got to. I'd carried on and like usually then, at 11 o'clock at night, I'd still be on. But yeah, we'll go. So a full salon day. We'll literally get to the salon.
You get croissants and you have Nutella and jam together.
Unreal.
So she's pasting them on, and then we normally have some fruit that we don't eat. We just buy it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
it just looks good.
I think fruit and salad always like it puts a colour on your plate.
Yeah, we buy it, but
it's
all the grey and yellow stuff looks more interesting.
We also a full few crates of Coke we go through.
Oh yeah, we're really bad Coke addicts, not cocaine, Coca-Cola. So we go through
You'll be getting people talking, Chelsea.
We go through a few crates of cola, and then I start to panic then because I've lost my charger.
No, I'll tell you what happens. If I come anywhere, like, even though I am very chaotic, I'm very organised. Like, within work things, my wardrobe, nobody's allowed in my wardrobe. Chelsea is not allowed in the sight of it. So I walk in, she'll have pinched every charger I've got, and then they go walkabouts. So then all our theory is on her iPad. We've got no charger. This is all within 15 minutes of being in there. We're literally running around.
So I'm stressing, guys. Yeah, just getting laptop on and just trying to find a charger.
We're all fine. Yeah, so when the factory's done, it's all there all the time.
Yeah, once we're rolling, we literally we're great, aren't we?
Yeah. We will literally do theory all day. And
we have some rubber heads, don't we, that we get as clients injecting before they even get on any clients.
Rubber heads, needle control. We do a lot with needle control.
Oh, and we always prioritise dinner. We always have good dinner.
We always have good dinner.
Always.
We provide dinner every lesson,
we're either usually at Own Farm Bakery or we're either going Costco. We've had Sunday
dinners delivered.
Costco's great.
Yeah.
But we just go. We can't go to Costco without buying.
My son's on
shells, sledges, everything. Last time I went.
It's quite distracting though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. So and then we'll carry on. So we do all that with the heads, and then we go into demos later on in the afternoon. And then everything, we do role play, and then from day 2 it's just models, more theory, sitting back down, going over things, because then when they're doing some practicals, it then makes the theory make more sense to them. So we just keep on going. It's a bit of that every day.
On a typical day in the salon, we must ring each other 20 times a day.
Yeah. And like 100%. So today,
if I look to my call records, I bet we've had 15 calls.
Easy. So today, my typical day at the salon today, I've been there, I've had clients in all morning, then I've had some interviews from 11 o'clock, then I've had a variety, so it could be Botox, fillers, medical needling, mole removal, then I've had somebody in another interview for social media, nipped home, sort my son out, back to work, nipped home again, had a bath, pinkled my hair, went back to work with my hair pinkled, did my last clients, and
then
Is it
worth having a bath at work somewhere?
I've got a shower at work.
I know, I probably would. I probably should.
Get a tin tub or something.
That's actually a really good idea.
I know. Well, my factory's not quite big enough for a bath at the minute, but when
you extend.
When they let me buy the back of it, hint, if you're watching, then I'll be able to have a bathroom or a house in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Some people do that, though. They'll live above wherever they're working.
Well, I've got a balcony getting put in get put in the salon because it's going to be very extra. I'm having a DJ. I'm having a DJ on the last Saturday. I mean, it's looking unreal already, but it is going to be unreal, like a one-stop shop. On the last Saturday of every month, I've got a DJ and he's coming and playing a bit of house, chill, background while people's having the blow dries, because in the salon there's more. So I've got hairdressers, nails, beauty, everything's going to be in the other side, aesthetics in one side, the training school in the other. And I think it's just going to be really cool. Sat there, DJ on, chill vibes.
I can't wait to
drinking a cocktail, having a blow dry. Who would not want to come there? I want to go there.
I want to go.
Don't really work for me, unfortunately.
Where I'll be.
Yeah.
If I'm not in my own shop, I'll be at your shop.
Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
So what are the most kind of common like treatments that you get booked in for? Or is there like a bit of a trend at any point?
Yeah, I think so, because it's changed for me. So about 5 years ago, all I did were lips. And then we went through a stage where everybody were having the filler dissolved.
It's clean aesthetic girl at the minute.
Yeah,
people
so now it's more like skin
more
boosters
natural,
and
less
like
lashes.
Toxin,
things. So it's more Botox.
It definitely goes through
boosters,
trends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You still do have filler, but it's a lot more natural. So now we're having tweakment packages. So like I'll have people in for a 5ml package or a 3ml package, and they'll just say put it where it's needed, basically. So I'll do a consultation with them and we'll do it very naturally, whereas 5 years ago people wanted to be
definitely. And
cutting edge.
I think obviously when Molly May, obviously a big dissolved her filler, everybody
looked so much better.
Yeah.
She's absolutely stunning after having all that filler out. I mean, she was stunning before, but
it definitely followed that trend, didn't it? At that time.
We even like lashes and even the way that you do lips. Like I get a lot more, cause we both obviously do all the same aesthetics, but then I do the tattooing as well. You do lip tattooing as well.
Yeah.
I get quite a lot in for lip tattooing now, whereas instead of having filler, they will try the more
get
natural
a bit more like
option,
defined
so
rather
get a bit
than like
more defined.
Even as somebody like me who's got no idea about that industry, I see online and people walking about the differences. Like they said 5 years ago, lips were just getting
I
big.
dissolved my own filler. I look back at my photos and I'd not seen how much filler I'd got in my own face at the time.
I mean, we actually teach our
but this was like
we
6
teach
years
our
ago.
students this as well. Like some of our students, if they've got migration, obviously by the end of our course they can see that they've got migration.
And migration is where the filler's like moved out of the place.
So that's where usually somebody's lips, like they would have a normal lip, when they start going ducky like this, it's migrated in. So if some of our students come like that, I try and advise them in the kindest way that it's not very good for advertisement, you having migration. And then promoting to other people.
Well, it's like having a 20 stone personal trainer, isn't it?
And I
people
literally dissolved my own filler out,
Yeah.
and I never really put it back in. Like I've got a little bit of filler in my lips, but the last time I had my lips done was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, and like I say, I've got 20ml in my face, but you won't walk past me in my chin. You won't walk past me and think, oh, she's full of filler. I don't have my lips done or anything like that. I literally, I've used it to build, because I had no... I changed my profile, the bottom of my face, I felt like I had a large or a normally 5 head. But the bottom of my face were non-existent. It looked like I'd knocked it off in a dojo walking through, didn't it?
You needed a beard, when guys have got no chin.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Right, so I get a lot of men now for the jaw filler.
Really?
A lot.
I've had 2 men this week come in my shop and ask for cheek filler as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just like for like, just where they get a little bit of volume loss.
So basically you've got, so you start going a little bit flat, obviously Chelsea's.
So you've got
not
fat
flat,
pads in your cheeks and they
start
to like separate and deplete a little bit.
Which then causes a line coming from your eye down. So literally I had somebody in yesterday, she had the 3ml package. She could go to her husband, he'll not even know she's had anything, because we've just filled the pads back to where they were. So we're not We're not changing a face. We're just putting back
just
what's
restoring
lost.
that volume loss, aren't we?
Restoring. That is the word I was looking for. We was restoring the hyaluronic acid.
See?
So do you get some people, like you say, they have gone too far?
Yeah.
And can you reverse some of that stuff?
Yeah, you can dissolve it.
Yeah, and I've got a couple of people that I've had to, for want of a better word, put on a filler ban. So just for the ethical reasons behind it, that I don't want to over-treat somebody, and I've had to say to them, look, I feel like you've got a little bit too much in now. I don't want to add any more to it. This is your face. I want it to look its best. And whether they choose to listen to me...
And you'll see them on somebody else's page.
Yeah, and they'll probably go elsewhere, but I've got
if that were a good practitioner, they should be telling them no.
Yeah, I'm doing it for the good of the client.
And you also get some people that come and they literally... It's an addiction. So they will spend... They'll just keep on spending and spending. As obviously, as good that is for our businesses. We're not about that. We want to be... I could not go to bed on a night knowing that I'd just put another few mil in that person's face because it'd line my pockets and she looks...
It's your reputation as well, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, people
say,
say, who's
can
done
walk past
that?
one of my clients and say, Katie's overfilled their face.
Yeah.
Not one. Not one.
It's like you say, even if they're capable of good work, if someone told me, oh, that place has done this to them and they look ridiculous, anyone that we're considering having that done don't go there.
Will probably go further.
Is when I put photos on, say if I'm putting before and after photos on of somebody's eyebrow tattooing that I've done and they've got a really bad lip job, I also comment sometimes and say, eyebrows done by me, other work that's been done elsewhere. Like
a lot of tattooists do, don't they? They'll go, they'll go so and so by me that part. That obviously looks crap.
And it's not that, and it's like, and obviously we all started off somewhere. Don't get me wrong.
I look back at my photos and my own photos, and they're questionable. They are, but at the time they were wonderful. But because my skills have improved and the techniques, I do look back now and think, oh, I shouldn't have posted that photo.
When I get my tattoo, go on, what's the word I'm looking for? Laser removal. There's a couple of people that have stuck with me from the beginning. Although they do look unreal now, there's still that little bit underneath that I can see. And when the machine opens in that, I will be giving them that for free, and I will be putting them back on because I think you've stuck with me for 12 years, 11, 12 years or whatever. And bless your little soul, they weren't the best. They were some of the first ones that I've ever done. But I recognise that. I see everyone had to start somewhere. So I will be.
I think that's it. Ultimately, it's like you've just said. There's clients that have come to you from the beginning. It's the same with me. I've been doing it for 10 years, and I've still got those loyal clients from the beginning. And without them, they're literally, we owe a lot to them, don't we? Really,
like pub regulars, aren't they?
Yeah,
I've had a cuddle with. I have literally had a cuddle with one of mine
flowers delivered today. Have you seen my flowers? No. I've had flowers delivered today. Nice. Because I did it yesterday. I did. Like round lines round somebody's mouth, and then I just felt she'd come in for a mill, but I just felt like, and I knew that's all she wanted, but I thought there's not quite enough, so I opened. I didn't think she noticed. I opened another thing of filler, and I just thought, I'm just gonna get that bit more, and I did it, and then she messaged me and she said, have I had some more? And I was like, maybe a little bit, but honestly, it's fine. And then I've had some flowers delivered to work today. That was nice.
I've had a cuddle today with one of my clients, and she literally said to me, I was there in the beginning, and I'll be there last. She was like, and that's literally what she said to me. And I had a little bit of a tear. I cried, and I cuddled her.
We are quite emotional, aren't we?
Yeah, proper.
So we're very happy.
I proper embraced her. And
I am quite emotional.
Oh, I see that it's a meme on Facebook, and it says, E in my name stands for emotional, and I've got 2 E's, so that's it.
and C stands for cry, you baby. Cry, you Chelsea.
Oh, yeah, I've got a lot of tears. I do cry a bit.
Obviously, like you say, you've been doing it for 10 years. How long have you been in that industry?
In aesthetics. So I've obviously been in medical needling and stuff for 11, 12 years. I've been doing aesthetics 5 5, 6 years now.
So what are the most kind of notable changes you've seen in that industry from when you started to now?
Just people not having as much filler.
And the cheapening of the industry.
Yeah, because there is a lot of everybody doing filler these days. I charge 140 a mil, 140, 150 usually, unless it's in a package, we'll charge a little bit cheaper. It used to be like 220 a mil. Now, what people used to pay, and that was the going rate. But because there is a lot of everybody doing filler now, putting mils on for £60. Yeah. So it's obviously it's not the clientele that you want. Like when you're putting it on for that low, I just think it's not people when they're going around paying for that price. Sometimes they're going around everybody. They're not bothered, and that's when you are going to come across some lumps in some lips, and then they're going to put a photo on that you've done their cheeks, and people's going to think you've done the lips and stuff. So it's like drove our prices down, but it'll never go lower than that, because as a trained medic, this standard, we wouldn't go lower. But if there wasn't that many people doing it now, the prices would have stayed higher. But there has to be that medium, because it gets to a point when people think, well, if they can do it for that, then why are they charging that?
We do live in an area where obviously people aren't as wealthy.
Like if we go down and do some work in London, we'll be charging more.
Yeah. I think every industry it's the same though, isn't it? Like look at like construction business, people always get it cheaper. Yeah. We get cowboys.
I know a friend that says he can double his price in London.
We get it with singers as well. Like someone will say to me like, "Will you do this show for this much?" And I'll say, "No." And they'll go, "Well, we'll go elsewhere." Well, get them then, and you will get what you pay for.
Yeah. And we're not going to lower his price.
Do you know my eyebrows that I have started 11 years ago? I've never put my price up, ever. Not for my top up. Sometimes when I started, I had my prices, and then I did a discounted rate to that price till obviously I got where I am. But yeah, I've just never put them up. And there's a lot of people that charge a lot more than me, and there's a lot of people that charge a lot less. But I'm not cheap, and I just think, do you know what? I know a lot of things have changed.
I've always said I sit in the middle comfortably. And I'm happy with that. I'm not cheap. I'm not the most expensive. I sit. Yeah.
I think you can kind of, if you start maxing it out, it's like it's great at the beginning, but you won't have as many bookings because people, like you say, people they've only got so much they can spend each year throughout that year. So
and there's supposed to be people are supposed to not have money at the minute. It was supposed to be in some kind of recession, but I'm telling you what, people have got money to spend on their appearances.
My Januaries are always busiest month of the year. I think people get like a bit of Christmas money as well, and they've spent money through December.
For everybody else, so they treat themselves when it comes January. Yeah. Literally, my January is one of my busiest months, busier than December.
Right.
My December's not always that busy because people like the fillers.
People don't want to be swelled, do they?
They like to be settled, don't they, for Christmas. November and January is my bad.
So this is very much a new year, like new me type of approach everyone has then.
Yeah, which is good, brilliant for us.
For us. We're not mourning, are we?
I mean, it's not even just that. Our training packages as well, we've filled out a whole cohort this week. So
on last weekend we had 3 bookings in one day. Like absolutely unreal. And I think people are not meant we do manifest a lot.
Yeah, we do. Angels.
Yeah.
We're like, do you know what I did? This is going to sound weird now, but I have a spreadsheet.
A spreadsheet.
I have spreadsheets for everything.
Yeah.
So it like will shine up.
3 baths 4 years ago.
Yeah. Apart from my baths, and I'm not on a water meter, thank the Lord. But it will shine up amber if somebody's due to owe me money within a week. It'll shine up red if they've not paid on that
because
day.
We have a payment method where they pay as a deposit and then they can pay as in instalments over 12 months, which makes
without going through a finance. Basically, they don't get the certificates.
They do it via us.
Done all the
So it will alert her when they're due money. So sometimes
if somebody's messaged us to book a package, I manifest and I put them into the diary.
It's like
and I put them on the spreadsheet as the highest package. and then they book it. Yeah. And I feel like I've manifested it because I put them there as if they booked it. And I like, so now I've even got the forms there and I think, right, yeah, that's done. And I said, I'm putting them in because they booked it, and then they book it. And it's like a bit of a manifestation, what I do. Really weird, but it's kind of working.
Yeah, we do manifest quite a bit, don't we?
Don't question it.
And we've got a little bit of a song that we sing to each other.
Money comes to me easily, money comes to me fast. Money loves my company, when money comes it lasts.
And we say that to each other most days.
Yeah. Is that your own composition then?
Yeah,
well, and I see it all over TikTok, but then it comes in, it carries on like joy comes to me easily, goes into love, family, friends, but literally it's like our little manifestation. I do all the new moons, blowing cinnamon in my house, blowing salt out in one hand and writing things down and smashing the plate. Yeah, I'm one of them. I do it, but it's working. Whether it's not or it is, it seems to be working.
And it works. It works for us, doesn't it? And I've got angel numbers tattooed on me because
and
lucky
numbers.
Yeah, I've got a few. I've got 666 as well. But
and do you know what? So I'm very much into angel numbers, and then when I went to get my salon, so it's a really funny story. This is how it started. How I ended up with a meat factory. So I went to, I've been working from a summer house in my back garden, basically, and honestly, it weren't right. It served a purpose, but it weren't right. It weren't like this. It were a little shed, basically, but it was clean, and it was obviously from there. You've
got to start somewhere, haven't you? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And literally, I was going looking for salons for years to find the right. I actually wanted the gallery in town. You know, the new If. That was on my business plan. I was like, I'm having that. I'm having it. I went to see it twice, and I knew I was gonna big go home. I'm always gonna big go home. And anyway, I went to it, but I really couldn't afford that. But anyway. So I went to look at a few salons, and I went to see this guy, and I was saying, I want this, but I want upstairs as well because I want this training school and I'm going to have all this. And this guy's looking at me thinking, like, who is this, like, woman? And I said, well, can I look at upstairs? And he was like, no, you'll need an electric screwdriver. And I went, wait right there. So I jumps in my van and sets off, and I phoned my friend Potter. And I said, have you got a drill for me or an electric screwdriver? Because this man's trying to show me this room, trying to sell me this building, and he'll not show me this room, and I'm not, like, I've come out my day to look at this. Anyway, so I drives down to his factory, and I said, what are you doing? And he said, I've just got some people coming to look. We're renting. And he'd been friends with my baby's dad for years, so I knew this factory. But when I walked in, there was nothing in it. And I was like, the hell's happened here? He's still got his business, Potters of Barnsley, just in case anybody. But yeah, he's still got his business. So he said, we're just going to show somebody around now. We're renting all the factory out. He's got this and he's got this. And I just had this feeling, right? And I went, I want this. And he went, what? Bearing in mind, it's 2,500 square feet. Like, it's huge.
Oh, it is.
This salon that I was going to go and look at were like twice the size of this, and then upstairs, honestly, it's one extreme to other. And I went, can I come back and see it tomorrow with my builders? And they were like, yeah, all right, Katie. Anyway, lo and behold, come to this. You should see this place I've got a feeling. And my friend Rita, who's doing all my renovations at KRS Property Solutions. My friend Rita, literally, she was like, honestly, your head, like, but I'll come with you, I'll come and see. And she went, do you know truthfully what you're going to spend on that and what you're going to spend on that? I would have had to move out of that salon within so many years. So I know you're going to get it anyway, basically, and I can do what you want to do, but it's going to cost you a lot of money. So next thing, obviously it was a meat factory and it would need a full change of use. So I went home, set my camera up, and I said, and I always speak to my dad. My dad's passed, bless him, like about 2 years ago. And my dad would be the person who I'd phone when I had a stupid idea, and he would tell me not to do it, and I would do it, and it would work. But I have to have so many people to tell me not to, because it gives me a bit of drive. And so I spoke to myself in the camera, And I said, I've just found this building.
You were like laid in bed, weren't you?
Yeah, I was laid in bed talking into it. I looked rough as out, and I'm going to put this on my vlog when it's done. It's a really bad video. Can I afford this factory? No. Do I know that I'm going to get change of use? No. Am I going to sign it anyway? Yeah. I put phone down. My video was 11:11. It were 11 minutes, 11 seconds long. I went, that were it. I phoned them back next day. I said, yeah, I'm going to sign it. And they went, what do you mean? I didn't have a round coin to put towards this factory. I had a bit of savings, but I mean, we're talking over an 100 grand project. No, I didn't have no money. Thought I'm probably not going to get a loan for that. My business has only just gone limited for a start. So it doesn't matter what I were earning as a sole trader. That counts for zilch.
Yeah, like you're a new business.
New business. So they weren't bothered. So literally, I signed it. It took me 6 months to get change of use. I mean,
oh God,
honestly,
she drove me
insane.
so bad. She was
so bad.
Every night on laptop.
But
weren't
I
you,
knew then. I knew that were it. I've signed it. I've got to pay for this factory now.
You were paying.
And that were it. Yeah. So they give me a bit of leeway, like don't pay until this and blah blah blah. So I just used that time to literally graph, stop spending. I stopped spending like I did before and stopped having as many holidays and things.
Just 2 baths a day.
And just 2 baths a day.
Cut it down.
One shared.
No
Me and
bubble
my
bath.
son shared, we shared a bath. We weren't on name brands and stuff. And literally, and now it's half done, and I've literally paid for it all with the company, and it's only getting to this time now where I'm going to have to lend a little bit of something to carry it on, and so yeah. And here we are. So if I didn't go and borrow that drill, I wouldn't have ended up with a meat factory. and I've got on my wall, I'm having a man who never made a mistake, never made nothing. And it's like in the wall, so you can't see it, but if you look from an angle that you would, because literally everyone were like, Katie, you know you're going to do it, but I was just like, just tell me that it's a good idea, because I really know that this could go wrong. I'm literally signing for everything here. And I could end up on my ass, basically.
Yeah,
and I still could, but it's halfway done and it's looking good.
I don't think anybody's really got further in life, though, without taking the massive risks and probably having a few knockbacks along the way.
Somebody posted on my Facebook the other day saying, how do I, like get some, driving me, and how do I, know where I want to be? And I literally just said to him, you need to just book that course or book what you want to do. Honestly, and then make it work. Just go.
Whether you're scared and you don't think you're going to do it,
do it. Because there's nothing you can't put your mind to.
I've only just started sleeping. I literally, my brain does not shut off. I know I'm not a normal person. Like you were not.
No.
But until this summer, I only used to live off about 2 hours sleep a night. I literally couldn't sleep. My mind is ticking. I couldn't be on my own. There was something all the time. Like normal people are going to sleep. I'm just starting rearranging my wardrobe and whatever. And I don't know why I've started sleeping this year. It's very bizarre. I can now do,
because you can do
8 hours,
good
8 hours on a
night,
night daily. And I think it might be because all this chaos in my mind that has been going on for this so many years, now I can see the end of the this was my forte. And now because I'm here, I'm finding peace within myself. And sometimes I don't even answer the phone to people and pretend I'm busy, and I'm literally just having a minute to myself.
Oh, you've heard it here first.
I'm like, silence. But yeah.
You've got to have you time though,
Yeah, but I didn't used to want to. I used to... Literally, I'd be cooking for somebody every night, or they're just doing something with William, or just something. I couldn't be on my own, whereas now I really enjoy my own company. So I'll be sat in that factory because I can't afford to finish it all off on my own with a bath.
What's what's like the long-term plan? So like 5 years from now with that, where do you want it to be?
So hopefully... This is my plan, and we've spoke a little bit about it. I'm hoping there's another 2 parts on the factory, whether it be there or not, at the back. I hope, because in that training school as well, I'm also going to be doing all like government funded training. So it's not just going to be aesthetics. There's going to be girls coming from college. There's going to be nail courses, and I'm going to be getting teachers in to do that. So
we're going to regulate as courses.
We're going to regulate as courses, and we're going to have Casey Academy somewhere totally different.
We want to make it more national, don't we?
Yeah. As soon as I've finished paying for the factory, we will be finding.
We're already in talks with other areas, aren't we?
Yeah,
a little bit.
we want to be training other areas. We want to be recognised.
So when you say training in other areas, are you talking about another property somewhere out?
We're talking expanding,
yeah.
Definitely. There's no question about it.
We already are going to be doing a little bit of training in other areas.
We were talking next 12 months. This is going to be like not 5 year, 5 year plan. Poof.
We want to also
international.
Yeah, we also want to. We want to have a Casey Academy to have its own, because that's what our business. I don't think we've told you that as business together. Is Casey Academy, obviously for Casey and Chelsea.
Yeah.
And we want that to have its own
entity, its own building.
And then we can train from wherever. So if we want to go and train from London, we can hire a training school out to move, to do odd courses for people. But we want to have somewhere, and we also want to have that like CQC regulated and have lots of other rooms and lots of other things going on in there, conference rooms, and be a one-stop shop for training.
Just like you spent years finding your factory, that's going to be the same. Whether it comes quicker or it takes its time, it's got to be the right building.
Like I said, I just dropped on that. It just happened, and it's here. And I think the same, because we can work from Redefine HQ at the minute. We're not in no rush, which is a lot better, because then the right place will come along.
Yeah.
On another
hopefully
funny
it will
story.
find us. Yeah, it will find
wherever
us.
it may be.
Well, it seems. I mean, obviously it's growing fast, isn't it, as well? But like you look at a long time ago, it would only be kind of like celebs, actors, presenters, footballers' wives that could afford to have all this type of stuff done. And there seems to be a lot more of just like what we've just classed regular people.
It's got to be one of the biggest industries. And growing, like you said, really rapidly.
People are never, ever going to want to stop bettering themselves.
And
growing
more
old
men
gracefully, a lot of men.
So many
I also
men.
do a man's night. So from 6 till 8 on a Tuesday is men only. And one of my rooms is made, or will be made in the other side, more manly. So that there'll be no women in that salon at all. Because I have a lot of men, and some people don't want other people in the shop to know. If I've got 16 girls working in that shop and they've got 16 clients sat there, they don't want people to know. So I'm doing a man talk show.
I've got a particular gentleman that comes for treatments with me, and his wife also has treatments with me. Obviously everything's confidential, and the clients who I treat are confidential, and neither of them know that each other comes to me.
And they live in the same house.
So when they come and they're talking about the partner, I've got to pretend that I've no idea who they're on about.
I have 3 friends from the same group that all book for anti-wrinkle or Botox, as people call it. If sometimes they would cross each other 10 minutes before, they all lie to each other and pretend that they don't have it.
Yeah.
And they all do, and I think sometimes you're booked on the same day. Like, honestly, but I don't think men are becoming more open to it than what they were. Like, you even get men, like I have quite a few men now for jaw filler. Like, men wouldn't have filler.
Yeah, like when you said earlier what's one of the biggest changes, I think that is probably one of
men look after themselves a lot more.
Yeah.
So they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Well, when you look at kind of, you know, when I was growing up, most guys like in 90s and stuff like that, early 90s, they wouldn't do a fraction of the things that they do now. They'd
not
be
even
like,
pluck their eyebrows or anything.
Or they say like,
now.
put in any kind of like cream on the face or anything like that. They would get that muck away from me. That's for your mum. You know, it's like
they want baby and they want facials.
Yeah, but it's like, like these days, nobody even bats an eye. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, well, if you go into like anyway, like going boots and stuff like that now, like the men's aisle is as long as the women's.
There's nothing difference between that man's and that woman's. It just makes a man feel better because it looks a bit greyer.
I were buying some deodorants in I can't remember whichever shop it were. It was something like Boots, but I can't remember. Somewhere in Sheffield, and they were, as I was walking on, they were like men's makeup, but they were calling it war paint because they wanted it to make it look more manly.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, and it was like a foundation for men, but they were trying to give it a manly name so that they'd kind of go, well, maybe I might get it then because it's called war paint.
Stuck on my face somewhere. I can keep on feeling myself going, I have got fur stuck from my coat on my face somewhere.
Moustache.
I must ask you a question.
So obviously, businesses are growing. So your online presence is growing in it, which obviously this day and age, like every business, you've got to have an online presence.
Honestly,
I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm just about to say, I'm guessing that you would probably be spending as much time posting stuff on that and interacting with people as you're actually doing treatments.
Well, I've just set somebody on. No, it's not, and it's like, do you know what? I mean, I like being like out there and doing things and looking nice and putting photos on, but talking to a camera. I had to do a TikTok live yesterday and put and I had an IV drip and an AD IV drip on, which is good for a lot of things, and it's like the new thing. And I was telling people about it, and I just made myself cringe. I just think, I'm sat speaking to this camera now, watching myself. I don't even think I brushed my hair. I had no makeup on. I'm just sat in the salon with this drip, and people are watching it. Like, there was 3,000 people watching that video. I hadn't even got a big following, and there were just 3,000 people watching it. And I'm just like, this is really, really cringy, but it's what people want to see.
Yeah.
People want to see real life. I've just set somebody on doing social media, so she'll come in for so many hours a week, be taking content and making these videos for me. I am a dinosaur. This is Chelsea's forte. I cannot, honestly. In fact,
her name in my phone is Katie with a baby emoji and a dinosaur, because I call her Katie the baby dinosaur because she has got no idea with technology.
Do it. I literally, like, just simple thing. I can put a logo on my photo.
We couldn't even save anything to desktop yesterday. On
all
Mac,
the gear, no idea. I bought an Apple, what is it called? It's not
Mac.
An iMac computer, whatever it is. Apart from an iPhone, I know how to work nothing. Right? Honestly. And
you stick to the spreadsheet I stick to all
I didn't know how to work it. I was like,
stuff.
how do I save this document? Well, I were on phone, and I think, why have I bought this? Like, so I said to the girl today,
but then I'm phoning my husband saying, I think I need a Mac.
Can you use Apple? She was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, well, I bought a lovely computer that you'll be able to do all your work on. But I can work my spreadsheets on it, so that's all I need.
Yeah, I do all the social media side for business.
I can't do anything
and I often do some for your business as well, don't
I? She does. Yeah. I have to phone for my business and say I need a post saying I've got this coming out. And I have other people that'll do it for me as well.
I've made this thing on Paint.
Yeah.
Honestly. It might as well. It might as well get a toddler
You know the word art. Word art. Today's offer.
Put a nice little arch in it.
Honestly,
the thing is, I have an aesthetic eye for it. I know where I want it to look like.
You can tell me,
so I can tell exactly, and I know how I want it to look. But I just can't do it. In fact, it's probably one of the only things I can't do.
We're having a website built at minute, and Kate's like, no.
This is boring. It looks boring. It does not represent us as people.
Don't like it.
You make it. They're building me 2 websites as well, and
you just know what you want, don't you?
Yeah, but in a nice way. I'm paying for that. I'm not being funny, but my salon is gonna be unreal, and it is. I am putting my life and soul into it. My website looks boring.
Yeah.
That website
it's got to reflect it,
yeah. Like, and it's not like me. I'm bubbly, I'm happy, I'm outgoing. It's just
I think if you're going to put all that effort into the actual building itself, it's like you need loads of like pictures, like video animations and stuff. So it really shows off what it is.
From us working, our work, our images. So
this is what
we don't want any stock images. We want everything like from us.
Real life as well. Like not anything airbrushed.
I don't want that.
Yeah, like your face don't really. People put things on your face that really look like that when you've just done somebody's filler. We put raw images on of things. Obviously, we can cut people's face out and spruce things up round the areas, or take somebody's spot out if they've got a big spot here and they want a nice photo.
Oh, because your client will sit here. I'm not having a photo. I've got a spot. I've got an airy lip. Or get my nose out of that photo.
Yeah, so you can sort bits like that, but I would never change the work. So but we are trying to do more on social media.
I feel like I have slacked a little bit on my own business social media just because we've been putting 110% into Casey Academy these last few months. But when we've
got this social media, who is also, she's going to be working for me and she's going to be working for Casey Academy as well. So we've put her on a trial to see, and then we can pass that to her then.
So is she making the content for you and like dealing with posting and things, or
she's going to be doing everything? She's making some content and she's going to be dealing with some posts, but only for so many and a bit of filming. And then I basically said to her, if I like you and you can do the job, you can have a job here 24/7. Imagine when all the girls are in there, they're all going to be wanting this, and I want to have content of all the girls. So I've got a big TV that's coming in the salon, so you can watch videos and new promotions and coming on the site. I want this to be updated all the time. And
it's
content's king, isn't it? It's like you need to post every day.
Why we're different from everybody else? Because we're
not normal. That's why we're different.
Well, we know we're not normal. We know that.
But it works.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah. So but it is very cringy. I do find myself do it.
I do get overwhelmed with it quite a bit though. Like,
do you know, honestly, if I picked my phone, I've got a work phone and a normal phone. I've had to do that now. So that I've got a phone that literally 20 people's got the number. Just people who I would need to. So sometimes if I go somewhere, I'll leave that phone, because when I mean that phone goes off, I bet if I picked that phone up now, there would be
well, area when you've had to put them on silent because they were just going constantly while we were getting in here.
And it's like this morning till night.
I can hear them buzzing down there. They're on silent, but they're buzzing. I can hear them going.
Just for a quick thing, just pick the phone up and let's just have a look. Let's just have a look. How much we missed.
Oh yeah.
So 53. These are down to an hour ago. So it last hour.
It's just ridiculous.
Is that just like inquiries and?
So a few Facebook things, inquiries. We've got
people. I've now got a booking system.
I've got 1, 2
messages.
Yeah, WhatsApps. It just never ends, and they're just. I don't have my notifications coming through for Facebook, so if I went on my Facebook,
Chelsea clearly states, do not message this Facebook if it's about business. There's a business number that's
I see that.
I do pay staff to do my messages, and I do get overwhelmed.
And they send you question marks.
Yeah,
people send you question marks 11 o'clock at night.
I really struggle
because you've not replied to them.
They might have seen you online, but I've got 4 business pages online that I have to run.
This is the problem with social media, because like back in the day, it would literally be your phone up at 9, between 9 and 5 or whatever it is.
Well, I've now got a house phone for the factory, which has also got 111 in the middle of my.
Can't remember the last time I saw one of them.
I got a message today off a lady saying, "Can you change your phone number on Google? It's been ringing my grandma." So I've never had a phone number for my business. I've always just done it via social media because I were a mental health nurse. I didn't want my patients having phone numbers and whatnot. So somebody has put this random lady's phone number on my Google listing of this elderly lady.
Oh, it's because you can add it yourself, can't you? And
people are now phoning this lady saying for chin filler and... I don't.
Oh, maybe we should set her on. I know. Shall we?
Like, how is that even
You said you could train anybody.
No, we can't.
I didn't know that was a thing. How have they done that?
I know.
So now I'm having to apply to Google to take it on.
I've only just had it on Google yesterday. Well, I haven't done it because obviously I can't do things like that. My sister's doing
If anybody's watching, I don't have a telephone number for the business.
And if you want
only an emergency. Yeah, only emergency, and that's my personal number. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I think. Like on business stuff for Google now, anyone can pretty much add things and say this is wrong. Put it to this.
It's
like Wikipedia.
It needs updating. Yeah.
Yeah, Wikipedia. I didn't know until I went to university that Wikipedia weren't truthful facts.
Oh yeah, anybody can.
Yeah, I could update Wikipedia.
Yeah, you can just start changing things, saying Dwayne Johnson's only 3'4" and stuff like that. You can do what you want.
This could be fun.
Obviously, people start changing things back and forth all the time.
And we've all used Wikipedia for some facts.
Yeah, I couldn't do my
do you do it when you watch a film? Because like me and Livy will literally we can't get through 15 minutes and go.
Films.
I wonder how old she is. What else has she been in? How tall is he?
I do not watch telly.
I don't.
I watch Friends because it's on in the background. And I know what's going to happen if I've missed 20 minutes through it because my brain's wandered off and caused.
That's what we do. Netflix series in background doing something else.
I lived on my own for 2.5 years and I had a telly downstairs and I never watched it once. Ever.
My
husband will say, I drive him insane.
I'm watching the new Molly May series tomorrow and I've invited 8 of the girls and I'm cooking them a tea and making a cheese board so I can watch it. Yeah, because I'll not watch it.
I struggle. That is one thing I'd love to be able to do, but I always feel like there's
always something to do. I feel a bit guilty if I'm doing nothing. I've learned to give myself my own time now and thought now I have Wednesdays off and Mondays after school time because I know that that's my time with William. I mean William's older now so he goes out playing. It's not, but. I feel guilty. If I had a day off, I'd be like, but this needs paying for, so why would I have a day off when that person wants that done? Like, I were really bad with it, weren't I, up to this year?
Yeah, I was the same though. Like, Dan said to me that were one of the reasons why he liked me because he said of my work ethic, but it just weren't a work ethic. It was just the fact I couldn't stop. It was just because I used to work full-time nursing and practically full-time business as well.
Whereas until 2 years ago, I was doing at uni full-time nursing, running the salon. I've got William, and my life is hectic enough.
Well, I mean, I was full-time nursing. I was at uni studying, I was running my business, I was pregnant and planning my wedding because we got married when my son was 12 weeks old and then I wondered why I got really poorly.
Yeah.
Just the stress. Because, I got really sick in between all that, but, Bizarre. Crazy.
If we weren't like that, I don't think we'd have successful businesses because I wouldn't have enough hours in the day. There's a lot of people that'll always find an excuse not to, like you said, whether to start the business, book on a training, things like that. I ain't got time. I think you haven't got time.
Yeah, and there's people like 20, you say.
There's 25 hours in my day.
You're managing to manage it with, got little ones and stuff like that and trying to have a life at the same time.
I was doing all that while nursing my dad who were dying at the same time. And people were saying to me, oh, I've not got this done, or I've not got this assignment done because of this. And I was like, listen, if I can get it done, then anyway. In fact, if I can even go through uni and pass uni, then anybody can do it because literally I had to redo my GCSEs and everything. Well, I'm a dinosaur, so that weren't the easiest.
No, I can relate to that because I do like loads of different things, and then if people around me aren't kind of matching that same energy and motivation, I start getting frustrated with everybody.
That's why we always say we would not find anybody else who would do this business way because
we're both chaotic.
Yeah, but we pull us weight
and we're lackadaisical in things like honestly the other day, which is probably not good. I'm sorry, students. We're on our way to where were we on his way to? Where we were going training, and I phoned her, went, have you got the needles? And she was like, I ain't got no needles, mine not here, have you got none? And I was like, well, I ain't got none.
She was like, I'm best checking drawers. We did
anyway, I went in the jar and I had some boxes. But do you know if that was somebody else, because we both work as brains work the same way, we get that. Like, I could be working with somebody else who's a lot more organised or works in a different way.
And they won't be able to cope with that because they won't be able to
We won't be
handle
able to cope with each other, but because we're just both absolute idiots, I think it kind of works.
You can't really pick up on somebody for doing something daft when you just did something daft 10 minutes before.
She's more stupid than me.
What I'm good at, Katie lacks.
Yeah.
But what you good at,
lack.
I lack.
But
So
you make one whole person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really do.
But I mean, Chelsea is a little bit more stupid than me. I mean, I do silly things, but she just takes
I take the biscuit.
Like, she got all the way, she just leaves. She goes on all day, leaves a suitcase.
I left my suitcase,
on bed.
didn't
I saw that.
Yes, I drove all the way to Southampton.
But she does this on a daily. This is not just like, everybody's
I've locked myself out the house today.
Shut it today.
Yeah.
Honestly,
crazy.
she's so...
I'm just chaotic. I opened my makeup
makes
bag
me
in
feel
Portugal
normal.
in the pepper pot from home.
Oh no,
pepper
weighing
grinder.
scales, pepper pot. When she got to Portugal, they were literally the half of the kitchen and the bathroom in the suitcase.
Why?
Like,
I don't know I'm doing it. It's like I disassociate. Like, so I've got something in my hand and then I'm like, that's because I've been messing with my hair. And then I wander about and, and then before I know it, it's just in my suitcase.
Can you imagine what we're going to be like for 3 weeks travelling Florida? With poor Dan.
But if you've not got to think about work as much, I know you will, because obviously when you're in your own business, you can't stop thinking about what you've got to deal with.
We'll still be working while we're there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll not stop.
I've not took my phone, my work phone, because I've now got someone that can do it, and it makes me feel sick. I know that sounds stupid, not from a point, because I can speak to anyone. I'm not in control, and thinking about it's making me chest itch.
So I went on a cruise, this same cruise that I left my suitcase, and it was the first time in my 10 years that I handed some responsibility over to some of my other staff in terms of ordering stock, because when you're at sea, you have to either pay for a Wi-Fi to have, like, obviously connection to outside world, and I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to have a few days at sea where I've got no, connection with work, so I can have some relaxing time.
I always think when you've got your child with you as well, you're not bothered. You wouldn't do that if you were on holiday with the girls or whatever. But when you've got everyone there that you need, you think...
There were going to be no text messages, nothing coming through it, but I carried that phone with me everywhere. It were like, I don't know.
I think
I felt like a part of me were missing. And it's silly because... I was the same. I felt sick because I had handed that control over, and it's not because I'm a control freak at all. I'm completely not.
It's just not knowing.
It's
isn't it?
It's your baby, though, isn't it?
It's my baby, and I have protected that baby, and I've built it up, and I've gave it my all, and I just did not know what was happening without me.
When I've let people, because other people are logged in on mine as well, so they can answer. But when I can see what's going on, then that's fine. But when I can't, honestly, it makes me feel sick. Like I can't do it.
Yeah, I've got friends that run some hefty businesses, and they can't switch off from it.
Can't clock off.
One of them doesn't have. I think he's only had a holiday in the whole time I've known him, in like 15 years.
I was good for holidays.
But we work on holiday. I took my laptop on my last holiday.
And we did all our training schedule as well.
I did all the lesson plans, sat on a beach.
In fact, on the plane, where were I going? I forgot where I'm going now. And literally, I spent
4 hours.
The whole time. And then she answered the phone. I said, I've done it all. And we've got a shared thing, so it goes in. And literally, when I come in, it logged on, and I'd just done all the work.
Yeah, I did the same, because I flew on my own to meet a friend. And, we just... did it while we were away.
Can't clock off. But then I think that is the difference in people, why some people are put on this world to be bosses and do things, and some people are put on this world to work for people, and which is fine, whichever way you want to do it. Some of the people that I know, they're like, I would not want your stress in a million years. They're happy to go to work at 9 o'clock, to come home at 3 o'clock, and I've not one. I mean, I don't think that my brain would quite cope with that.
Some people like a kind of safer life, but it ends up like one person might find one job really like mundane, but someone might be like, well, this is great.
Paid every month and knowing your hours every month.
I know what time I'm turning up, what time I'm going home, what I'm getting, and then they have the life outside of that. But I mean, I can't be like that. I've got loads of other things that I want to do all the time. Yeah. I don't think I've had a holiday in the last 20 years where I've not started halfway through sitting up on Sun Lounger and booking shows, promoting stuff, and going through just organising things.
It's your passion, innit? Do you know when I go into work, I absolutely love my job. I love it.
You don't work a day in your life, do you?
No, I do not feel like I'm at work. Do you know when I drive into that factory now and look at it, I absolutely, and I mean, it's still got some blue doors and it still looks like a factory at the minute, but I love it. So I think, like, I will be spending, on my day off, I probably will be spending it in the salon getting my hair in that and watching where everybody
and I'll be inside of it having my hair
sat in my little, because I've got a balcony that's coming in it where the DJ is going to be. But after, that balcony is like 9 foot by 3 foot long. Like,
you're going to
it's
stand
big.
up there and wave it us all, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to wave them. No, I'm looking in. But I'm going to have that as not straight away, but because I've got like cocktail menus, I'm going to have it as like a nice place that you can have drinks. All my cups are all like branded, and I want to redefine HQ and all my coffees and things like that. So when you've got all your hair in rollers and you're waiting for your next appointment, going for your makeup done, you can sit up there and it'd be like, not a bar, but like a little bar. Just not a bar.
It's just not a bar.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like a little social bar.
Just you.
Waiting
area.
It's just me. It's just me. But, yeah, so
we were just talking about social media as well then. I know obviously you mentioned you're a dinosaur, you're a bit more savvy with it. Obviously, world's changed. I've been mentioning about this in some recent podcasts, like AI seems to be rife in the last year or two. I'm guessing this is terrifying you.
No, he's my best friend.
I was just about to say, could it be incorporated into things that you're doing then at the minute?
So I'll give an example. So we have had to create letters for all our students. They have literally like signed into a co-op with us. They're paying this. They're coming on this day. They are going to learn this X, Y, and Z.
Literally,
we put it in ChatGPT.
Write everything and make this professional. To everything that I do, everything. I don't use it for. I even like help myself write. Oh, I'll tell you what I did use it for at university. I used to copy and paste my what's it called? See, I can't even remember.
Question.
My assignment, and I used to say, simplify this, because I did not have a clue. I didn't have a clue.
But I literally put
meant.
in it other day. Sell me a course for botulinum toxin, and it literally wrote it in such a way that we got 3 bookings.
And then we'll literally we change it then to us. It gives you structure, it gives you method. So I do use it for that. I mean, my brother. Obviously, like I told you, my dad died, and he wrote me a letter for my graduation, because nobody would have ever thought that I would have ever graduated. Like, I would have never have gone to uni. It were a real big thing when I went to uni. And so before he died, he did me this card and whatever, and I got it on my graduation. And I've got a graduation photo. Obviously, I'm on my own there, and my sister had me an absolute stunning photo. My dad is stood at the side of me on this photo with a suit on. He was on a cruise. Looks like he's stood there with me. It is absolutely unreal. Anyway, my brother come back. We're about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He'd put it on this AI thing. My dad literally turns round and he hugs me and praises me. Right?
Seen these.
Honestly. It grabs me.
It looks so real, doesn't it?
I can feel him hug me. Like, it is that real. Like, I feel it. Like, I look at that now, he were there. Like, he weren't.
Yeah,
so for that, it's really good. So I am a dinosaur, but I do know how to.
But you're open to it.
I'm open.
Yeah.
I wish that I could do it Like, I really want to be able to make videos and it popping up on screens telling you
just
what I'm doing.
Watch when you're in bath. Put your iPad on one of those little trays.
It's only a 3-minute bath.
I'm
out.
Oh, right.
Done. Yeah, they're really, really.
It doesn't seem like
I ain't got enough time in day.
It doesn't seem like it's worth the effort, really, to
no,
me.
it ain't. That's why they're just mini baths.
Always in the bath.
And mini baths. Yeah. You have to, if I'm FaceTiming and you're out anywhere, you have to check before you answer.
Going back to the AI though, there's just never going to be anything good enough than just us delivering a course.
No,
so like
never.
It's never going to get to that point for me in terms of like delivery.
We don't even like people do pre-work on courses, which we have got a booklet for people to do, but because of how we learn, kinesthetic learners, and doing things, we do our theory in-house, because I could not learn all that theory and anatomy. Start doing it myself. I know some people can, but I can't.
Well, everyone learns differently.
Everybody, and I think if
we
I
need
learn
to get
like this,
to know
this
them
is how
students, don't
this
we?
is how I'll teach it, because this is how I do it.
Yeah, we get to know students. Obviously, everybody learns differently, so we will then tailor each bit to each student, don't we? But we tend to deliver a lot of it first, and then we take it down different avenues at that point.
I don't think nothing will ever be. I mean, we've done some online courses, and just to see, what? It's not for me. It's not for me.
We sat there. Well,
and then do you know
we
what
actually gave feedback to the course.
I gave
and
feedback,
said,
and I just said, I've got so many questions to ask. What happens if that happens? What happens? I mean, I know the answer to that anyway, because I know roundabout why I couldn't do that, or who was there to ask. They sent me my certificate when I'd watched all that. They sent me my certificate.
But who's to say that we've actually watched it, really? Because you can click through and then it gets to the end and you've got a certificate.
It was bad. It's
they need to ask you some questions on it so that to tell that you've actually absorbed what you've watched.
Yeah, but then you could have some form of AI robot doing this for you now. You?
Well, people are doing
Elon
it to
Musk,
write CVs for them and covering letters.
We should get one of them robots for in the Casey Academy.
Don't, because you know where I've said today that I want one of them robot hoovers so that when the clinics are shut, that my floors are getting mopped and cleaned.
Mine will not, because of the grit that it is.
So then on the morning, it's all done.
We could just get an actual robot though. Maybe we will. Watch the space. Maybe we'll bring it. Maybe we'll bring it
on the next
podcast. Yeah, and we'll bring. What will we call him? Him? Would it be a her? Would it be him?
Them.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about like some of the things that I've seen online, not from you guys. Some, like when people kind of post, like, it usually ends up on like Lad Bible, like viral monstrosities. Is there anything that people have ever asked you for that you would just turn around and go, not in a million years I'm going to do that?
I've had a lot of messages for penis filler.
Is that actually a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's labia filler and all sorts now and there. I mean, I do body contouring, so like hip dips and things with filler, but I don't do any penis filler or anything like that. But I just can't. I just don't know how it work. I don't know.
It's a thing though, and there is clinics that do it. Yeah.
Knowing how filler works and knowing how the penis works, I just don't.
Surely
really...
it would move about and.
Well,
you look like you've got some kind of golf ball size growth on it.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's just So that's one of the strange things that I get. But I think it's not really people that really want it. That's what's strange about it. It's not somebody that generally wants it. It's just somebody being weird. Yeah. It's just, and just for the thrill, I don't even message him back because that's part of the. It's just
we've got a guy currently at Minnie, haven't we?
He's stalking us.
Yeah, he just sends messages,
and if it done, and then if it'll stop, he'll just start again off another account, isn't it? So we don't even open them now. We just leave him to send, and then he sends them to his personal, to his own businesses, to Casey Academy. We get love arts and messages on
pictures
the daily.
of beds. Yeah.
I think like the especially since now people, like when you used to go out drinking, if people liked somebody, they had to get the number and stuff like that.
A bit of effort and work.
Yeah, it's like now they just search the name, or if they're just, or even not even bothered if they're not a person, they just find people, like the picture, and then they just bombard them with crap, and then just follow on everything.
I would not like. I don't know how people think. I mean, people might do this, but like, you know, if somebody would just send me a message and a message and a message, I'd just be like, what?
What is going on?
Yeah, yeah, but like I said, it's a lot different, isn't it, these days? That's with social media.
It's
obviously. Awful, which is very good for things within our business.
Yeah.
But when my business started, social media weren't big. It were all word of mouth. Like all my clients came from word of mouth, and that's why I haven't really been able to grow my socials as such, where you see young girls now and they're only just starting out and they've got all these followers but that's all they know.
Yeah.
Like all my followers have just come from, I do try and do a little bit of something now and again, but they've just come from people just looking and thinking, oh yeah, I've heard about that, oh let's have a look on that.
I had a bit of a boom probably with followers like COVID time, and
because you were one of the first really in the industry that went into doing all the flat lips and things like that.
And I was like, at the time I felt like I was in my prime. Yeah,
you were, not that you felt, you was in your prime.
I look back and I was like, that were a good time for me, like that were a good time for my business, even though now it's an amazing time for business. That were where I felt like it went and like it reached like a really good turning point.
See it on the rise. Yeah,
and then COVID happened and then I had to close, and I was just like, no, this is like the worst thing that could happen.
That was the best thing for me, because I was at uni and I had nothing else that I could do apart from uni work.
But that made me realise when I, because I was unwell, I was having to shield and I weren't nursing and my business was closed, it made me realise how much time I was spending at work. So that's when I put my notice in nursing. So after COVID, I never returned, And then obviously just concentrated on my business. And I took my shop on in the second lockdown. So again, didn't know what business we were going to be like, didn't know if we were ever going to open again, we didn't know if the world were ever going to be safe, and I took a bit of a gamble in a lockdown. And
so where were you doing yours before the shop?
So originally...
You had a little shed like me, didn't you?
So I started in a friend's salon originally, and then I ended up with a little bit of a bedroom clinic going on in my first house. And then, I built a separate outside area in my house. And it used to drive me insane when I got clients and my husband was sat in the garden and having a drink and having a smoke. And
the dog needed to go out.
And I'd be saying...
Honestly,
I'd be saying, you can't sit there. I've got clients coming. And he'd be saying, it's my house. And I was like, no, I'm going to get my own separate place.
It was good for me while I was going through university, obviously, because I had William at home on my own. And William's always had a routine. I mean, it's only that he's nearly 12 now that he'll stay up later because he was 7:30 bed. So I would be able to book all my clients in late because I'd finish everything. I'd spend all my time with William and then I'd start work. So I used to be working. I have been doing filler past midnight in that shed, honestly.
Sounds like something out of a horror movie, doesn't it? It's like, go to that shed and get stabbed with needles.
At 1 a.m. and see how you come out.
Down that dark path.
Down that dark path.
In that dark room.
Big dog.
Oh dear.
So I'm thinking we might have covered most of the things that I wanted to ask you. Is there anything that you wanted to like kind of plug about what you're doing at any point in near future?
No, I just think obviously just keep an eye on the pages, the socials. We are going to do we do a lot of first aid, and we've got a big thing coming. Some little plans more on the first aid and medical side that next time I come and see you, we can obviously go into that a little bit more, but we don't want to share too much about that because we don't want anybody
stealing his ideas.
Stealing his ideas. Yeah, it's another one of them. So that will be really good. I'm excited for that. And then we've had another idea like today. So we'll see. But at the minute, just carry on. Look for Redefine HQ. It's at Wunwell.
Yeah, and Chelsea Naylor Luxury Aesthetics.
Yeah, and we're in Casey Academy. Anybody wanting to train?
Or be models as well.
Yeah, or be models. So when we have our website, you will literally be able to go on there and click to train, click to do first aid, click to do anything else, or you will be able to click to be a model. Whereas I don't think other people have that either. So our models can book that if they know they need a treatment every 3 months. They can book, because some people, without our models, we could not do the courses.
No, they are the foundation of the business.
So many models, and we see other people and putting them on saying we just need one model that'll have all this done and blah blah blah. And we are very fortunate, but I do think that comes from
the trust
in us too. With the knowing people trust us, we're reputable brands.
There's certain words that you just stumble on.
They're just
just never come out right, did they?
And that were like me on my TikTok live yesterday. I was trying to tell people what this drip did, and I'm just like, just look it up.
Sound like Bill and Ben.
Yeah, just look it up. It's very good. So just watch this space, and I hope everyone comes down to the open day and loves it as much as I do.
Is the DJ going to be there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there will be food. We do everything with
it's
food.
always got to be food.
Yeah, lots of food. I'm having over the top.
Food is definitely key to my heart.
So there's going to be a lot going on.
That's all I think about.
Yeah, well, everybody knows me, and my friends always.
We're going to have food after.
But my friends always used to say to me, like, they want to find a man that looks at them the way I look at food.
She's been sending me menus at restaurants for a cruise ship already.
Oh, absolutely.
I honestly look at stuff and I get excited about things I'm going to eat in weeks and months in advance.
I can be planning my next meal when I'm eating the current one.
We eat weird as well. Like, we don't have breakfast at breakfast times, and dinner's like, well, fun. She's like, what are you doing? It's 9 o'clock. I'm having a jacket tatty with tuna, and she's having a curry.
But my mum will say that I was always the same as a child, so she used to give me like macaroni cheese for my breakfast because she says that's what I wanted. Yeah, and I'd eat it. She said I'd rather send you to school eating that
with a full tum-tum.
Yeah, than not eating it. And I'm still the same.
Yeah,
now.
so just it'll be very good. There'll be lots of food, drinks, acts going on. Maybe you can come and join us.
To be fair, you had me at food anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna get some some singers and all things going on, make it a day thing, and my bar waiting area will be serving a few. There's not a bar. We'll have a few treats, and
sounds good, doesn't it?
So yeah,
you got to do it properly, haven't you?
Yeah, go hard.
If you're doing it extra, aren't you?
Yeah, I am extra.
Well, this is what your content creator is going to be there for, isn't it? You're capturing stuff like that.
If she's still hired.
Yeah, if I like her work. No, I mean, I just know what I like, and I like people to do a good job. I think, don't sell yourself. I know whatever I tell my clients I can do, I'll not tell them something that I can't do. I'll not lead them down the garden path, and as long as my staff do the same, then that's fine.
So I always like to end the podcast on asking guests what advice they would give to the younger selves.
Do you know what? I just think you can be whoever you want to be. Like, literally, my school teachers now come to me for aesthetics and they cannot believe I'm putting needles in their faces. Like, nobody, you've just got to believe in yourself. And do you know what? If you want something, go and get it. And just work hard. Like, I've had to go the long way around because I didn't do very well after school and stuff. And just, you can be anything you want to be.
Yeah, mine's always that, obviously when I split up with my ex at the time, when I saved up to do my business, I've always lived by this ethos that you can't make somebody love you. And at that point, when I accepted that and obviously moved back home, I then obviously got my business and did the things that I wanted to do. But then, obviously it's same as you, that if you go
find love within yourself.
Yeah, you've got to love yourself. You've got
if it wouldn't matter in 2 years, it doesn't matter now.
I like that,
always,
Never
I
heard
really,
that.
literally, if I think about things and something's going on in my head, because my brain obviously doesn't stop working, and I always just think, will this matter in 2 years? I also do this if I'm going to buy something. Will I still want it in 2 weeks? I have a 2 week rule. I don't ever use it because I impulse buy. But
I've got a shopping addiction.
If I will still want it in 2 weeks, then I can go and get it. And if it doesn't matter in 2 years, it doesn't matter.
That's really good. But same as you, like literally take risks.
A man who never made a mistake never made nothing, which we'll see
That's what's
on
going on your wall. Take risks. Obviously, if you want something and you've got a goal, then go for it, no matter how unrealistic it seems to you at that point. And like one of my friends today, she's literally wanting to start something and she's saying, I'm doubting myself. Them doubts, use them, like literally use that worry in your belly, go for it.
That
like
anxiety,
literally
prove it wrong.
It to fire.
Prove it wrong, prove everybody else wrong.
Like,
and
when I was starting that factory, like I said, I didn't know how I was going to pay for it, and here we are 6 months later, it's nearly done. So
you can always earn more money, just go for it.
Yeah.
Well, I've learnt so much about something I didn't really know much about. But no, it's been great as well. I actually found it really interesting the way you've not gone too complicated for my mind. So it's been quite nice to digest. So I'm hoping that the people listening as well they'll take on board what you said. But it's good to see that it's going well. I'll be putting both your businesses in descriptions on everything as well. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Really enjoyed it.
Great.
Cheers.
Thanks.